Cornerstone Business Solutions, Smith & Friends Estate Agents, Advanced Utility Solutions and TGM Cars. The team today for a very important game. We said when it was the last 6 games, 6 cup finals. Unfortunately, we lost against Leeds. Didn't show up against Millwall and get beat. Today, some people were just thinking it was a formality despite Plymouth and Gyle beating Sheffield United last week. But the team that set out today was Travers, Junior, Vandenberg, Dick Steele, Foz, Whittaker, Hackney, Howson, Morris, Azaz and Conway. That was the starting 11. On the bench was Glover, Belazer, Fry, Iheanacho, Bazog, Edmonds, Gels, Palmer. 2 Palmers on the bench. What game did I see? I thought it was a frustrating afternoon. They should have been 3-1 up half time. But for the heroics, Travers, the goalkeeper, they had 2 1-on-1s and Travers put off 2 fine saves. They did score a goal. We scored the goal. Boggett played inside right. Conway dinked over the keeper, hit the post, and Azaz anticipated it was going to come off the post and he put it into the empty net. It was a fine finish for him. That's 11 goals for the season. Second half, look, if I didn't know who was top of the league or in the top 10 and who was rock bottom, I wouldn't be able to define who was what on today's performance. I'm just being brutally honest. It's not about, as I say, this stage of the season is not about performances and putting in Hollywood football and turning it on. It's about winning games, and we did it. The goal we scored late on in the game, they must have been absolutely gutted. They've got, I don't think they'd be on a coach, be on a plane, it'll be an hour. But if they were on the bus 6 hours, going through their heads, how did we lose a goal late on? When the ball gets played to Conway, inside left, I thought right away, it's a pen. Goes into the lounge, a couple of lads says, did you see the penalty, Bernard? I says, well, for the angle I was sitting at, I thought it was a penalty. He says, no, I don't think you're right. Watched it on the telly, never a penalty. Never a penalty. Some people say, no, Whittaker's was a penalty. But it wasn't because he played on. So, but if I was in the Plymouth boots or dressing room, or I'd be furious. When the ball gets played, the lad has touched the shoulders of Conway. I mean, Conway made 3 dives today, I'll be honest. I'm a Borough fan. Conway, the guy's done this on another occasion, he touched him and went down like a tree, and I thought, and he did it at Bristol. He faked it down there. I don't like that. I don't like that nonsense. But anyway, he gets the ball. He turns. The defenders touched him here. Very, very lightly. And he goes to kick the ball with his left peg and totally miskicks it. And we get the penalty. So, yeah, I'll take it all day long. But don't tell me it was a penalty. It was a bad decision from the referee. And I have to say, I'd never have a go at referees. It wasn't so much the referee. The right side linesman, he was hopeless. I don't know what, throughout the game, both sides, it didn't suit either side. He was just poor throughout. But it was all about getting the result. We've got the result. But obviously Bristol's won today, so they're 4 points ahead. Coventry beat West Bromwich Albion. Muggers team, they're 3 points ahead. And obviously we're down to 3 games. So it's all going to be nip and tuck right to the bitter end. I think it'll probably go to the wire. As I say, Bristol 67 points. Coventry 66 points. Borough are 63. West Brom and Millwall 60. So still loads to go on. A few texts, I'll read them before we start going. As I say, I've just rushed in the door. I keep thinking it's a Saturday. John says, great result, average display. It was, as I say, Azaz done well anticipating it was come off the post. And then Conway, there's things I admire in Conway. And there's things I think, I don't like you. The one is his cheating diving. Dived twice a day, dived once. Not for the penalty, other ones he dived today. Faking it. But he's got an edge to him. I like people with an edge. But there's no way in this planet. Bazog come off the bench. Got the ball for the penalty. He was taking it. And Conway, just like he did with Latty Laugh, who had scored loads of goals before he arrived, he took off Latty Laugh start of the season, he took off Bazog. If he misses it today, they've got hung, drawn and quartered. And I'd have been on his case right away. But he kept his cool, composure, and it was a great finish. So it was the right decision. So he's no shy. And that's his 13th goal. But Azaz, still my man of the season, player of the season, man of the season. He's got 11. So well done to him. Lucky today, Bernie, this is for Mick. Penalty, bit doubtful, but we'll certainly take it. I agree. Liam, worst team in the division and we huffed and puffed. Yeah, let's not kid ourselves. We played a team today who have conceded in the 43rd game today 84 goals. 84 goals. And they could maybe do the 3-1 up at half time. We looked way off the pace. Second half we came into it a bit better, but still not overly convincing. And I still doubt we'll get in the top 6 because of that. Was it a great result? Definitely, great result. Was it a penalty? No. Will we take it? Definitely. We'll take it. Of course we will. You need a bit of luck and fortune, the rub of the green, and we got it today. Because it looked as if we were going in for a 1-1 draw. I thought a draw before the game, if I'm being honest. Because I knew they would put up a fight because they're fighting for their lives, the championship lives. We're fighting for different reasons. But was it a game for the purists? Definitely not. Dear me, it patches, it was awful. So, we'll backtrack, we can read whatever. So, David Longstaff says, where's David? In all honesty, I thought we'd lose today. Not a great performance, well, far from that. But we did what we had to do. Cool as hell for the penalty by Conway. On to Monday, this might happen up the effing borough. Well, yeah, it might happen, but it might not happen. We can't get too carried away. It's still out of our hands. Bristol and Coventry still in command. People tell me we've got better goal driven, but they've got 3 points and 4 points more than us. But they've got big games to play as well. And everybody's... I don't think there's 2 positions up for grabs. Bristol's in the best position because they're 4 points ahead of the lot of us that's chasing the 6th position. And I still think Coventry are the dark horses and they'll be up there. Frank Lampard, the Coventry manager, says last week, probably go to the wire with Middlesbrough. He might be right. Borough were so lucky today, Bernie. But in the end, we won thanks to Tony Conway. Scored the goal from the penalty spot in for Andrew Hill. In injury time, I thought Conway really played well throughout the match and he was my man of the match. Conway put in a shift. Conway always puts in a shift. He's an honest lad. Well, he's honest. It comes in diving and faking injury and guy pushing him over. I'm not a fan of that. He plays for Scotland. He should totally different mentality for that. We criticise the foreigners for diving and we've got our own team player, our own Middlesbrough team player doing it. So I'm not going to defend that. But yeah, he gives 110% every game. He's got that edge to him that strikers need. Will he be a 20 goal a season man? Can't see it. Well, definitely not this season. But next season, if he's here, I don't think so. Why? Because I think he does too much work everywhere and anywhere because he's playing that lone striker. And it's a very difficult role. And years ago, the big man would win the balls and I'd feed off him. That's the way it used to be, before and after. The dynamics of the game's changed, tactics have changed, ideas have changed. Not necessarily for the better. Is it a better game watching football now? I don't think so. Paul McLean says, Howson at fault for the equaliser. He was. Bernie beat the man, then pass it to Morris. Yeah, so there we go again. So this fanning about the back. Howson gets the ball. He dilly-dallies. He's got a chance just to launch it, but he decides to play it to Morris. Morris falls in a heap. Ladley runs away. Bang. Thank you very much. 1-0 to them. Or 1 each, but it was a fine finish. Paul Story says, going to have to beat Coventry last game. I think draw with Sheffield Wednesday and beat Norwich. Why are you drawing against Sheffield? Why are we not going and getting a win, Paul? Win. It's about results now, and we won up the borough. David Middleton, no messing. I agree with that as well. But as I say, 6 cup finals we had it down as. Leeds didn't deserve it. Millwall didn't deserve it. Today, get out of jail. That's the way I would see it. But it's a win. So, 1 win out of 3. We need 2-3 wins out of 3. And see, I think people forget that Bristol and Coventry are points ahead of us. 3 and 4 points. There's only 3 games left. Malcolm Skidmore says, out of all the January loans, Bernie, which one would you try to keep? Personally, I think Junior is improving every game. Well, I think everybody would agree with that, Malcolm, myself included. It's always difficult, players coming in on loan, getting to know your surroundings and teammates and training grounds and settling down the area. Very, very difficult. There's not a lot does it in that short spell. But Junior has improved since he's come in. I'll be honest, I think there'll be bigger teams in Middlesbrough looking at Junior and looking at what he's got to offer. We've given him the platform, the shop window, and he'd probably get pinned. We've not in control of him. So, but the keeper, Travers would be number one, and then probably Junior. 3 points is all that matters. Is it Paul Brodo? But God, we are so devoid of quality in the final third. Mistake aside, Howson, great again. Mistake aside, if it was one each, you would always reflect on that, but yeah. And Johnny Howson went right back. Didn't get that one. Let's hope Coventry slip up before we play them. Well, that's the hope, isn't it? What do you make of McGree injured and train again? Scott 94. Well, Scott, I heard that today when I was in there, just walked in the stadium, somebody went, you never guess McGree's out injured. Where did he get injured? What's his injury? Well, it's not happened in a game, is it? Because he's not played. So, I'm beginning to think it's a farce, these training incidents, or these training injuries that keep occurring. Matt Anderson says, hi Bernie, hope you're well. Hiya Mark. Great result today. Travers kept us in the game. I called it a couple of weeks ago. This could go to the Coventry game and goal difference could get us in the playoffs. I think Bristol City still has to play Leeds also. Yeah, they do have to play Leeds. It's where Leeds are at the time, innit? I don't know when they play Leeds, but I know they do play Leeds. But with 3 games left, if it was the last game, Leeds might be home and dry. But yeah, you did call it, Matt. I remember you saying it. Could go to the wire. Let's hope it does go to the wire. But it was important to get the win today. Was it convincing? No. Was it important? Without a shadow of a doubt. Keeps us in the hunt. Squad was better 5 years ago. Just poor Jonathan Quain. I agree. You're not telling me this is a good team. I mean, I says it today. I says, look, great result. Well done. 3 important points. That's what it's about. But if I was an alien turning up today, not knowing either team, who was top 10, who was rock bottom of the division, I wouldn't have been able to define and say who was who. Because there wasn't a gulf between us. The two looked as bad as each other at times. And defensively, I mean, they had three. Well, they scored 1 and then they missed 2 sitters. Always a drama with the Borough. Take that all day long. This is for Paul Gamble. I like the name Gamble. Nothing to lose if we make the playoffs. There's too many stronger teams in there. I think Carrick will be here come the summer up the Borough. Alan Allison says, won the last 3 and we're in the playoffs, Wolfman. Oh, that's me, Wolfman. Younger viewers, Heritage yesterday when I was in the communal bath with the lads. Peter Beagray, former Borough player, nicknamed me the Werewolf. That's all that matters up the effing Borough. I love the way you say it, Alan. Won the last 3 games, we're in the playoffs. So what happens if the other ones won 3 games? We're not in the playoffs and we won 3 games. That's the blinkered sort of a bias. I've got mates, loads of mates like that. You know, there's optimists, pessimists, there's fantasists, there's realists. I know what I am. Huge win. Got to keep winning. Perfection performance again, though, Bernie. Perfection performance. Are you taking the Jeffrey, Chris? Huge win, but so Chris is on the back of it. Put huge win, but pathetic performance again. I still don't think we will make the top 6. The last game against Coventry could be massive. Yeah, a lot of people are pointing to that game, but we need to beat Sheffield Wednesday, which is on Monday. You know, I don't want that old chestnut coming out, oh, we're tired, we're fatigued, it's long in the season. I want to go out and win the game. And let's set it up lovely for the games to come. But we are running out of games, and as I say, we're not in control. We won 3, and Bristol and Coventry won 3, then we don't make it. Simple as that. But there's no guarantees that any's are going to win 3 games. I think the way they are, huffing and puffing all the teams, they're all much the same. You can't say, oh, they're going to get that top 6. There's 4 gone. They're all done and dusted. 2 positions, 5, 6s chasing it. We're all as bad or as good as each other. There's nobody stands out where you say they're definite. Coventry, I think, are the dark horses. I still think they're the dark horses. They beat Muggers West Brom today, which is a big win against a team that's up there. Come on, Borough, from a Sunderland supporter, I hope you pick Coventry. So Tony Brown is on our side. A Sunderland fan. Ali Smith says, potentially got to beat Wilder, Sheffield United, then beat Sunderland in the playoff final if we get in the top 6. Tough ask. Well, it's a tough ask if you look at today's opposition. We're playing a team, Plymouth Argyle, who are garbage, rock bottom of the league. 84 goals conceded in 43 games, including today. Awful. Won 9 games in 43 games. Come on. And we huffed and puffed and struggled. Don't go to Sheffield United. They're already in the playoffs. We're not. So, don't get too hyped up, too carried away. Keep the powder dry. Today, and the penalty wasn't a penalty. So let's put things in perspective. Did we deserve to win today? Probably not. Did we win? Yes. Are we delighted? Without a doubt. Over the moon. That old cliche and saying over the moon. Delighted. Buzzing. But don't tell me it was a good performance. It was poor. As I say, we could have been 3-1 down at half time. And then the penalty goes away. What if it went their way? We'd have been up in arms, absolutely. When you see it, Conway, the guy puts his hand on Conway, barely touches him. And I've watched Conway today. I think it was 2 occasions he dived today. The referee helped him in the second one. And they go down for the penalty. He went down like a tree, but it was his fault. He must kick the ball. Bernie, the realist, great show up the Borough. Garen Samantha, hi, Garen Samantha. Travel the country, Garen Samantha. Take my hat off to them, supporting the beloved Borough. Travel the country. And yeah, I'm a realist. I do the lounges and there was a guy today, you're always criticising. I only say what I see. In the modern world of Britain, people want you to lie and keep everybody happy and content and don't upset anybody. I'm not one of them. I'm talking about football. I'm talking about the club I played for, that I was loyal to and successful with. Middlesbrough. And I love it. And I'm 40 years here come October. So, don't tell me what I should say and what I shouldn't say and I'm too negative. I'm a realist. That's what I'm saying. How are we in this position where we've still got a chance? The only reason I know is we've got a chance because there's so many bad teams running about us. Same as us. We'd still love to play these teams in the playoffs. It gives the fans something to be excited about. Colin, totally agree with that. My only downside, what I think, probably my background sort of tells me, I don't want to see punters, meaning fans, go out on a limb financially, get in debt, go in the playoffs and get done. I'd rather not make it than watch people struggling financially and beg, steal and borrow to go there, because that's what the fan does. No got the money, they will beg, steal and borrow to go there. You know, I remember going to Wembley, a few of my teammates and former players arranged it, and we went down there and played Norwich, and within 10 minutes we were all done. We get done. And I'm thinking, no, the fans spent a lot of money. No. Are we good enough? If we put against Sunderland or Sheffield United or Burnley, whoever, if we play against them in the playoffs, the ones that's not promoted, two at the 40, Leeds, if we all play with potential, are we going to beat them? No. But there's no guarantees of teams playing to the potential. So we could beat them. But on a day where everybody performs, then we're not as good as them. That's why they're 20 odd points ahead, these teams. So I'm backtracking all these. This is YouTube. Hi everyone, thanks for the great live stream. Once again, Bernie Dan Smith. Matthew says, our keeper by far the busier, pulled off some great saves he did, kept us in the game. I agree. I don't know how people have not given him man of the match. Off again today, Ian Taylor. Hanging on by a thread. That's a good description. Hi Bernie, it's all up in the air. If they don't make it, the playoffs, it'll be by luck, not skill. Everybody needs a bit of luck. Paul Brodo says 3 points is all that matters. But God, we're devoid of quality in the final third. Let's hope Coventry slip up. I've read that. What do you make of McGree? I've read that joke. I think it's a joke. Injured where? Training again? Another training ground incident and injury? What are these dietitians, sports scientists? What are they doing? What are they doing? They should be carrying the can. I don't know what Carrick thinks. He's obviously a quiet man. If I was in Carrick's shoes, I couldn't hold my tongue back. That was a terrible game of two poor teams and was very boring. David, I used the word born again today. And the fans booed at half-time again. 4,000 Borough fans going to Sheffield Wednesday, hopefully to give them something to shout about. Well, let's hope they do. The fans deserve it. Conway should have been booked for diving. Don't like players cheating. Darren, that's what I see. If I was Conway's pal, his dad, his teammate, I'd be saying, listen, you're an international player, you're an international arena, you're with the Scotland squad. We don't dive. We criticise foreign players coming to England diving. Ronaldo gets stick for all the years he was here, still gets stick. And we've got our own player doing it in a Middlesbrough jersey. Don't want it. We want to drive that out of the game. Nonsense. Hi Bernie, yet again, we're relying on other teams winning or losing. It must be nice to know that we got there by our own volatility. Yeah, hey, Stephen, totally agree. Hi Bernie, could the last game be the 6th place decider? Could be, definitely. 6 million for Whittaker. What a joke that is, David Jackson. Yeah, Whittaker's still not nailed down the place. I think he'd one great shot second half. Let's give the guy credit. He cut in the right, for the right, on his left. He curled it. He could have made a hell of a save, but it was a great effort from Whittaker, but not greatly involved in the game. As I say, I was a bit surprised when Fry came on, put Big Berzog on the, well, he came on the right for Foz, and then Howson pushed to the centre-back position to accommodate for Fry at the heart of the defence. Found it a bit bizarre. Where are we here? I'm backtracking. Hey up, Bernie. Hope you're well. This is Neil Henderson. Hi, Neil. When I saw the fixtures at the start of the season, I said to my son, look, Coventry, last game. And as I says, will depend on that game. I think it's down to other results, though. Up the Borough, happy Easter, pal. Happy Easter, Neil, and happy Easter, everybody. Easter Friday. David Baker says, Bernie, another hard-fought 3 points. We can still do it, but it's an uphill struggle. And even if we get into the top 6, we will then have to win 2 more games. I'm always hopeful, but win or lose, I'd like to see Carrick given at least 1 more season. We're going for your jollies this year. Where am I going for my jollies? A few months down the line, I'm going to somewhere abroad. Fancy Florida. David, thanks for the invite. I said I was going to come over. David, need to mark that down. I wouldn't mind a week in Florida, mate. All right, that's why you're asking. Pamela Turnbull. Hiya, Pamela. Evening, Bernards. Great 3 points. We still have hope for the playoffs. It ain't over till the fat lady sings. I'm glad you says that, Pamela. The feminists out there with Bill Marquis saying I'm a misogynistic, whatever, which I'm not. But yeah, the fat lady sings. That Ali, the late great Ali Brownlee used to use that. Used to say the fat lady is not singing as yet, but she's gargling. That was Ali Brownlee's quote. Keep the faith. Scumberland, meaning Sunderland, Vesper at Wembley. And no, I'm not on the gin yet. We'll get on it and celebrate. Lee Simpson says, agree with what you're saying, Bernie. We aren't top 16 and we had a poor January, and these runs of 6 to 8 losses on the bounce kill a season. Look, we're in my 43rd game and I think we've won 2 more games than we've lost. So it's not exactly sitting ahead of the light thinking, wow, what a season. But we're in the mix. It keeps the excitement, the adrenaline, the fantasies, it keeps everything going. So the fire's still burning, but today it was important to if I'd have been sitting here now saying, poor game, we were bad, drawn against Plymouth again, everybody would be down in the dumps and criticising every Tom, Dick and Harry. But because we won, we got off the hook. And we did get off the hook. Was it a penalty? No. But we'll take it. Where is Riley McGree? Riley, Bernie. I said in September, he's going to watch his progress. Else, and by the way, how many goals from corners? So Craig Vernon, many goals to corners, don't really count the stats, but Riley McGree, Craig, I only heard it when I arrived at the stadium today, and I just thought, here we go again. What's his injury? He's not got injured in a game. Once again, it's a training ground incident. What is going on at training? I might have to go up there myself and see what's going on, because we don't seem to hear anything. Nobody seems to tell you how it happened, what is the problem. We just disappear off the face of the earth. Neil says, look, it's football, and we all know anything can happen. Look at Man United last night. I never watched Man U. I watched a bit of Rangers, I watched a bit of Tottenham. No, I did. I watched a wee bit of Man U as well. I kept flicking between them all. G. Shaw says, we are nowhere near good enough. Got away with that today. Soft penalty to paper over the cracks. Back to reality as Sheffield Wednesday Monday. Yeah, Sheffield United, that could be the real for me, that could be the biggest decider, because I don't know who Bristol and Coventry have been rushing. It's what we do, but Bristol and Coventry, if they won and we don't win, and there's 2 games to go, absolute mountain. Hi Bernie, Eddie, Jeff, Edwards, hi Cotter. Hi Bernie mate, I thought the defence was dreadful, Jeff the Cotter. Well, the defence went missing and there was a few holes appeared, especially in that first half, and a couple in the second, but the defence had been poor all season. So this is for Matt Barnes. You have Plymouth fans calling us cheats, but listen, it happens in every game, whether it's players taking time with throw-ins, corners, or keepers taking their time. We deserved to win the game, and we did. Up the effing borough, Bernie Joseph-Slavin, big muscles, showing us his guns. Deserved to win? I thought a draw would have been a deserved draw for them, but hey, Matt, we're more than happy to take that one. Stefan Jarrett says, I saw the game from the start to finish, loads of possession but no pace. It's lacking, the team's not good enough to get promotion. We'd be lucky if we get in the playoffs. And Darren says, we only count when it comes to season ticket renewals. We only count when it comes to season ticket renewals, said Darren. Today's result has cheered everyone up. Neil Henderson, there's a smiley face there. I don't know if there's a bit of sarcasm or what. Hello, Bernie Joseph-Slavin. We got away with that one, pal. It was all over had we got a draw. Yeah, Mohammed, I think a draw today would have been, yeah. I think we would have. As I say, I'm sitting here now, we've won today. People say I'm negative. I'm a realist. I could sit here to get more hits and for people to say, oh, Bernie, yeah, he's right behind the Borough. I'm a Borough fan. I love it here. I love the area. I love the people. I love the texture Teesside. I love all that. But I'm a football fan. And if I don't see good football, I'm not going to come on here and bluff it to make people happy. The modern world knows about pleasing and not upsetting anybody. And that's not me. It's not me. Go and listen to your other channels and watch other people. People that's ever played. Listen to them. Yeah, go and listen to them people. Talking a load of tripe to keep the good books of people. That's not me. I'm a Borough fan. I proved it as a player. I'm loyal. I was successful. I'm still here. 40 years come October. Don't forget to do in the town hall. I think there's only balcony seats in the main left now. Although it's October, they've sold out the majority, or if not them all the tables. But anyway, it's all about plugging that. Yeah, being a realist is more for me than a fantasist. I want when Carrick's first season, I was on here raving about Carrick, raving about the team, how good Ramsey was, how good Archer was, Akpom, top scorer in the division, Giles like a train running up that left wing, probably the most creative player in the division. I was bumming everybody up. It was fantastic, best football I've seen 35 years. But nobody come on and said, oh, you're praising the Borough. Well, I praise them because they were good. I'm praising them now because we're in a position you would question whether we deserve it or not. But you don't always get what you deserve in life. Plymouth probably deserved a point today, but they get nothing. That's just the way it is. Hello, Bernie Jocelyn. We got away with it. Yeah, Chris Anderson. It's out of hands, Bernie. If we can still keep winning, go to Coventry and try and win. That would be the ideal scenario. Coventry away. Do you know what? I don't travel to away games. I've done all that way. The commentary for 500 games with the late great Ali Brumley. I'll go to Coventry, Borough, if that's the game. Definitely, without a doubt. I'm not saying I'll wear a Borough shirt, but I'll wear a Borough scarf for sure. I think Borough and Coventry will make the playoffs. It's for Mohammed. Bernie, also West Brom on a bad run. Fans want Mowbray out. Bit harsh by them. It's all about next season for them. Yeah, look, Tony Mowbray, health's more important than anything. And it's great to see Mugger back in the game. He took over West Brom. Their manager got a job abroad that must have been in his contract to get an offer. So he was doing well, had him in the top 6. Mugger come in, top 6. But we're not writing ourselves off with 3 points more than West Brom. So we're not writing ourselves off when it comes to Bristol, 4 points ahead and Coventry 3. So are we going to just write them off? Because we're Borough fans, all West Brom. I don't think West Brom will make it, but I don't think Borough will make it. I hope I'm sitting here wrong. Out of interest, did you watch, so this is for Scott94, out of interest, did you watch European matches in the week, Bernie? Some very good games. I also thought watching them when was the last time we scored last minute, then we go and do it today. Yeah, it was with no way back for them, and not to stuffing the guts at them. They were on the bench, didn't even get on the field for Stefan. I don't know what that means. I did watch games, Scott. As I say, I watched Real Madrid, and I thought Real would pull it back against the Arsenal, although there were 3. I thought they've did it so many times in their history. But well done, Arsenal. Declan Rice, everybody pointed him out, but he was amazing. They won the game over there as well as. So, well done to the Arsenal. Then I flicked between the channels. There was Rangers playing. There was Tottenham Hotspur playing. Man United, wee bit of that. So, yeah, I did watch. I was dipping in and out more than anything. Because I thought they were all big games and all good games to watch. But obviously, I didn't want to sit through every game and watch 90 odd minutes. Dear me. Burnley, only 2 defeats and conceded 13 goals so far this season. Well, Colin, that's an incredible tally. You know, to only concede 13 goals in 43 games, Burnley. It's amazing. It's astonishing. And you have to give their coach credit. Pamela says, getting rid of Latty Laugh is the difference between us being 7th and automatic promotion. How we're even looking at playoff is nothing short of a miracle. But typical Borough will probably go up on other bad results. Well, Pamela, we'll take it if we get it, but you can't always depend on your luck. You know, and the games we've won before, the Leeds game and Millwall game, we were average. If we played 4 games, we've played about a game and a half of decent football. But I keep saying it's not about Hollywood football and glamour and exciting and entertaining. It's about grinding out results by hook or by crook. We got a bit of luck today, a bit of fortune. Get out of jail. But we'll take it. And it keeps the dream alive, or the fantasy, whatever you want to call it, for the next few games. Matt Platt says, today I thought on paper, over the cracks, we were poor. But at the end of the day, we get 3 points. And if we do that from the next 3 games, I'll take it. Mark, exactly. We'll all take it. Because if you get in the playoffs, people forget about how bad we played. Hey, we've got in the playoffs, and then if we qualify for there, but you shouldn't forget about bad performances. We have to win the next 3 games to take Coventry out of the playoffs. It's a good way of putting it, Colin. 3 games and beat Coventry. Easy. Mark Barnes says, I think it will definitely come down to the last game. Everyone is all doom and gloom, and yes, it hasn't been the best as in performances, but look what we could have been had we been more consistent. Not the worst team. We're not the worst team by any way, shape or form, Matt, but as I say, I think we're on a par with a lot of teams. We're inconsistent. We let goals in. We've only got 1 natural striker. No natural right winger. Whittaker in the day, but he's not nailed it. On the left, no natural left winger. 1 number 10 in Azaz. So, and injuries galore. I mean, the McGree, dear me, what rubbish are we going to come out with now? Where's he get injured? What happened? I'll read a few of these out. I think we're out of time yet. So this is for Tell, sorry. Fry and Lenihan and Foz. Contracts are up next season. Who would you keep? Me personally, be brutal honest, none of them. None. Fry come on the day and people are questioned why he's not in the team. I'm one of them. But Fry's a local lad. Been here, been here since 10 years, since a young kid. I think to really develop and move on his career, he needs to leave Middlesbrough. The other 2, I wouldn't give contracts to. Lenihan, no, and Foz, no. The Foz, the attraction to Foz, I've never seen it. I've not seen it. Been here a couple of years now, never really seen it. Liam says, Carrick's team reflect him. Don't you agree, Bernie? Sometimes they do, yeah. He's composed, he's cool. Sometimes even talking in front of the camera, boring. And the team sometimes reflects that. Yeah, I'd have to say you're probably right. Derek says, 3 games to go. Can't wait for this season to end. Well, you're cheery. McGree was training ground injury apparently. Well, Jonathan, that's for all the... not all. The majority of injuries at Middlesbrough Football Club, our team, has come for the training ground. Now, we've got sports scientists, dietitians, psychologists, the best training facilities, looked after like unbelievably well, and we fall like flies. We've got 4 centre-halves injured. They've not all been injured in the first team games. Yeah, it was just my phone, unprofessional. Stephen Jarrett agreed. Whatever that was, he agreed. Did I miss one? New players, new formation, 4-4-2 next season, no messing. No McGree on the bench time, sell a decent price. Got to go for Stephen Horn. Happy Easter, Bern. Happy Easter to everybody that's watching. He's not happy, really wants more money, he needs to go. I don't know that's true or not, but he signed a new 4-year contract, didn't he? But that suits both parties. But he's never, I reckon I don't even think he's played 20 games, has he, this season? And the injuries, he's came back in cameo appearances, and we've seen him on the bench, and he disappears. And he's disappeared again today. Some people were saying he was going to play today. Lo and behold, he's injured. Mark, we have been shocking this season, conceding plenty of shocking goals against us. I think it was definitely going to the last game. Everyone's all doom and gloom. They're not doom and gloom. I think a lot of fans like myself, they're realists, and it's been a turbulent, frustrating season for the majority of us. I keep going over old ground. First season was amazing. I sat here every week. Brilliant, great, best football I've seen. Goals galore, creativity, magical, great in the eye. Punters are loving it. We knew what team, when we turned up, we knew what performance we were going to get. Either we didn't win, we knew we were going to put in a shift to enjoy. Now, you don't know what Borough team's turning up, who's playing where, and how we're going to turn it on or turn it off. Best keeper we've had since Swatzer. Imagine penalties at Wembley. This might be Howson's last season. Great player at 37, Pamela. Pamela, yeah, that's nice to bum up Johnny Howson. Great professional, great ambassador for Middlesbrough Football Club. Gets his head down, irrespective of where he plays. Puts in a shift, honest. Just a great pro. If everybody was like him, we wouldn't have a problem. He's not happy, Rowan McGree, by all accounts. I'd say Howson had a good game, sorry. Howson had a good game, and Junior plus Conway for me. Yeah, those three did well. Yes, Colin, we have no consistency at all. We had some great performances and some absolutely shocking ones. Yeah, as I say, no goals against Leeds. Big team. No goals against Millwall in the round top six. Today, we scored 2 against the worst team in the league. So it's not exactly... As I say, they've conceded 84 goals. Stats say McGree played 18 games. I say, Colin, I don't think he played 20 or 18 games. There you have it. You can't argue with stats. For me, he needs to get the team right from the last 3 games. Fry has to be in that defence. It's in our hands if we can win all the last 3 games. Yeah, but Chris, you're right. But what about the other teams that's above us? They won 3. They won 2. No, Coventry, if they won 2 and we play Coventry, then goal difference is better. But Bristol would go above us, or be promoted, or in the top 6. So for me, needs to get the team right. 3 games. Fry has to be in, I'd agree with that. 3 games. So yes, we'll snatch it in goal difference. Yeah, so that's what I just said there. No strength up front, not strong enough. I agree with that as well. If Carrick doesn't sort McGree out, he could lose the dressing room. Dan Smith. Well, McGree probably won't be back now, surely. Craig Vernon says that was including Australian appearances. I don't know if that's a bit of sarcasm there, because every time McGree, or over the course of the season, even last season, he would declare himself injured, and yet he would appear for his national team Australia, which I don't give a flying about because I'm a Borough fan. And then he would return and then get an injury. But he didn't go international duty recently, so he must be injured. 3-0 up half time, then full time 3-3, terrible up the Borough. So Gary, I think, is referring to the time we played Plymouth down there. Was it 3-0 and then end up 3-3? Yeah, awful. Yeah, that's very, very true, that. Give me a wee sec. Right, so I'll read these out. Today's game against Plymouth was a must-win game and we achieved it just. That's for Joe. Matt says, Ian Nasho is a disgrace. I says this on the Red. I do Red Radio on a Monday. It's not on this Monday because of the Easter weekend. And hope you're all having a great Easter. Don't be eating too much chocolate and putting weight on, and you have to do your daily exercise, which I preach every day. Ian Nasho, I believe, has only played about 6 games in 2 years and only scored a couple of goals. So do I blame him for his performances at Middlesbrough, or do I blame the people who brought him here? I blame the people that brought him in. How did they think a guy that's hardly played a game and kicked his arse for 2 years is going to come and replace Latty Laugh, who was a live wire, lightning quick, what's he backside off, scored goals, created goals, didn't down tools when he wanted away and the club was more than happy to let him go for the money. How could you think this guy is going to come in and do it? I had to laugh. I mean, I laughed, but I did apologise. But the guy, I think, meant it as a joke, although he's probably telling the truth. I was on the Red Monday and this guy says, Bernie, I'm 75, 8-year-old. I've got one lung and I move better and faster and breathe better than Ian Nasho. It made me laugh. I laughed and I apologised, but obviously meant it in good spirit. But as I say, I don't blame the lad. Ian Nasho should not be in a Borough shirt because he doesn't look fit enough. He looks slightly plump. Doesn't really, well, he's not set the head of the light. And it is difficult coming in loan. I'm defending that as well, but I don't blame the lad. I blame the recruitment. Lazy recruitment, awful recruitment. He's not good enough for us. He might go out in Sheffield Wednesday and score 2. It still doesn't mean I'm a fan. But for me, whoever thought he was going to replace Latty Laugh, dear God. Have a lovely Easter, Bernie. I hope the dogs get some treats. Thank you, Pamela. And when I post things about my dog, some people say, well, where's the other one? The other one, both of them are living, they're sisters, they're Irish setters. One tends to stay at home, just like some of my fat mates. Not that it's fat, it's slim, but a bit lazy, doesn't want to go out. That's fine. So the other dog's all right, but it's just a bit lazier. I'm going to training ground to find what is actually going on. This is for Chris 87, is it? What is going on? The players disappearing and players taking 3 months to return to the team on average. No excuse for a season. I agree, Chris. You know, if I was Michael Carrick, I'd be going and getting these sports scientists and the guys that call the shots a lot of the things behind the scenes and monitor a player's movement and fitness levels and say, what the hell's going on here? Is it the surface? Is it the training surface? Are we putting them through rigorous training regimes, which I think very unlikely in the modern game? Another good game from Travers, the keeper, Stefan. Stefan, very good. As I say, but for his heroics, we could have been 3-1 down at half-time. And we'd have been dead and buried. There was no way back. As I say, half-time, there was a few boos ringing around the ground. I'm not a fan of that, but I get it, because it's frustrating. Colin says, who's your player of the season? Wolfman. Wolfman, it makes me laugh. I've went on record of saying it. My player of the season, because the other players have only played half a season that I've looked at. Doak, half a season. Player of the season, if that makes sense. Latty Laugh, half a season. Player of the season, if that makes sense. But my player of the season has been Finnazaz. Finnazaz, because he's played more games than anybody else. He's chipped in with his 11th goal of the day. He's created just as many. And there is games he's dipped and not been good and took about a flat and stick. First 11 games, never kicked his arse, never scored a goal. But he deserves the plaudits for me. If I see him for out the end of the season, I'll shake his hand and I'm sure that he will have the player of the year in his cabinet. There's nobody else can take it. People say Morris, they've only played half a season. You don't get a player of the year award for chipping in for half a season. It has to be more than that. Saying that, I've seen players over the years at Borough getting that. Laddie, you had to play 50 games, score 24, 30 goals to get a Player of the Year award. I've been there. But you had to put a shift in that season. But if you're playing 20 games, you shouldn't even be mentioned for Player of the Season. Big respect, Plymouth fans spoke. Big respect to the fans, yeah. It was boring performance today. And Stefan says, we must have talent in our academy. Carrick doesn't give young ones a chance. Well, Stefan, the only way to get the young lads and give them a chance is stop bringing players in. The loan players are stopping the young lads coming through. If I was a young lad and I'm watching Big E and Ashel right now, I'd be thinking, how on earth, how am I going to progress into the team when we're bringing players from abroad who don't look interested? You'd have to question that. Even at a young age, I would be questioning that. Would the players be on a bonus if promoted, Bernie, just thinking up the borough? Oh, without a doubt. There's no doubt. And players sign contracts, and I remember signing, well, I've signed a few contracts over the years at Borough, but there was one we signed in, we made, it was on a pro rata, meaning it was how many games you played. So I was involved in, if it's 46 championship, 46, I'd get money accordingly. If you played 26, your money's going to be halved, and so on. So yeah, but there would be money in it, without a doubt. As if they need it. Mark Wetter says, Ian and Bernie, evening Mark. Good to see you again today with Dave Cooper, Connor rather, sorry, Dave Connor. Special praise today for Conway. He ran his socks off, as did Morris, who was solid. Carrick is way too predictable with his subs. Putting House into right back was no use tactically and they didn't see that Whittaker did nothing and lasted 89 minutes. I'll never know how he's seen Whittaker played 89 minutes. Pamela Metcalf says, my brother was going to leave. I told him not. We're going to win up the borough. Happy Easter, Bernie. Happy Easter, Pamela. And you keep telling your brother. Look, I get it, fans. I always stay at the end. But even when I'm in the seats there, no matter what's happening, I always stay at the end. I think it's respectful. And you never know in the game of football. It's madness. Unless we get beat 5-6-0, then you know there's no way back. You might as well go and drown your sorrows if you're a drinker. But I don't do that, so I just sit at the bitter end and take it. Like a man. For me, I would extend Howson's contract of 1 year. Always reliable, always plays. It's simple. Apart from that, one pass today for that goal. Yeah, that one could have been costly, but happy Easter, Bernie, for Stefan. Cheers, Stefan. Happy Easter to you. Johnny Howson, where they are standing at? As a professional person, an ambassador for the football club, I'd give him a year. But if you're looking to the future as a football club, I'd probably say, Johnny, shake your hands and say you've done magnificent for us, Johnny. Get another club. He won't play every game next year anyway. He'll be 30, going on 38. I wouldn't be letting him go because he's let us down. Just as a matter of respect, say, Johnny, shake your hands. You know you're not going to be a regular next season. We need younger players in, and all the best, son. Or putting them along with the coaching staff. But again, people say, oh, it's jobs for the boys. Which sometimes, yeah, sometimes it's true. For me, I would, yeah, so I've read that. Where are we here? In the, yeah, so I've read that, my brother. Yeah, I'll read these few and then I think that's it, is it? Yeah, a few minutes. So today's game against Plymouth, we must win. Game of men's Saturday and Ashore. Sheffield Wednesday, Norwich and Coventry left. Points return 4 maximum for Lenny. So let us know in the next 5 minutes how many points we get out of 9, the remaining games. Giles Chewson, hi Giles. The only game I ever left was Everton away 5-0 down and Nick Bambi scored twice for them. Hope you're well, Bernie. Hope you're well. Cheers, Giles. And you're ever up this neck in the woods, Giles, give us a text in your social network. I'll meet up with you for a coffee. Matt Whitter says, Bernie, I think I'd settle for us needing a win at Coventry to clinch 6th spot. But can I see it? No, I can't, mate. As I say, people criticise you because that's your gut instinct. My gut's the same. I think the exact same. I think we'll miss out. Do I think we'll win 3 games? No. I don't. We could, but I don't think we will. But it's all pie in the sky. It's only speculation and a wild guess. I don't know, but I don't think we're playing well enough to sustain it for 3 games in a bounce. But then again, I don't think any team is. So we're just the same as everybody else. I think it's a bit of a lottery now. Who's your player? You mentioned that. If we don't make the playoffs, do you think Carrick will be on his bike? That's for Mike. So Mike says, will Carrick be on his bike? Pretty rhythmical. Me personally, I don't know. I'm not privy to any of that. And I don't wish anybody gets sacked. But Steve Gibson has sacked better people than Michael Carrick in better positions than Michael Carrick. And if we're not top 6, I think it's classed as failure. Despite the injuries and loss of form and top players getting sold, that's the way clubs operate up and down the country, and Carrick's bought into that, and not to make the top 6 would be, I think it's failure. And have we went up for he first came in, his tenure 2.5 years ago? No, we're going down. Defence is as bad as ever. Players are falling like flies. We're hitty missy. Sometimes it's boring. So, who would you play on the right wing? Whittaker, Berzoga, Foz. Rudy, I'll be brutally honest and no mess beat about the bush. None of them. I don't think any of them's good enough for the right. Doak was the man. Loved Doak. Took an instant like to him. Thought, wow, he's got the lot. He's game, he's direct, he's quick, he's skillful. Bit about him. Presence. The other ones have not got any of that. Big Berzoga, I feel sorry for. Come off the bench today on the right. He started off on the left. A couple of months ago, he banged in 3 goals in 3 games, and then he was dropped. Didn't get that. Tom says, good to see you meeting up with Gary Gill yesterday. Yeah, I was with Gary Gill, former teammate for the 86 period. Gilly's got a lovely restaurant not far away. And I went in and had a meal. Well, I didn't have a meal. I had risotto. Vegan, of course. And it was a lovely place. Bernie, I think I settled for it. Yeah, so I've read that. I'll read these out, and that's me finito, I think. Yeah, let's see. Yeah, a minute ago. So who would you play? Good to see you. I've read that. Last one. Could you imagine Borough getting promoted with this team? For Neil. Carlos says January recruitment and injuries farcical. Jimmy says, hi Bernie, listen to your Chris Morris podcast, part 1 and 2. I loved it. John says, looking forward to your 40th year celebration at Town Hall in October. Peter says, max out of 10 for this season. I'll give it 4. That's it, Peter. What would you give it? I'd probably 4 or 5. Paula says, what do you think of women's football? Don't know. Paula, I'll be honest, I've not got any daughters. My mind is polluted with football, men's football. I don't watch women's football. It's okay, I've not murdered anybody and it's not illegal, and don't be criticising me because it. I've no daughters and I just focus on the men's game, and I don't criticise women's football because I've never watched it. I couldn't tell you how good, bad or indifferent. I focus on men's football. And there's that many games on now. It's saturated with football. So, that's it. So, well done Borough for getting the result. Did I enjoy the game? No. But we got there. So, look forward to Monday. I'll be on at 6 to 7 on Monday. Obviously, it's still Easter. Have a great Easter. Don't be eating too much chocolate. And thank you very much for watching. Up the Borough. Thank you.